Hi everyone, today I have a whole workout for you in a seated position. This is a full body workout, so don't let the seat fool you. Because we are seated, because we have gravity working on us in ways that we don't when we're doing either floor work, working flat on the bench, or doing even an incline bench, use lighter weights than you're used to. So I have a full routine. The first thing we're going to work on is we have a chest press, hammer curl, and tricep extensions. So we're going to do 12 reps of each, 3 times through. So for the chest press, you want to make sure, I'm going to grab a little heavier weights for the chest press. You want to make sure that your core is embraced. So when you embrace your core, when you engage your core, you want to think about pulling your belly button towards your spine, not up. So your belly button goes back and your ribs come down. So it's not a sucking in motion like you're holding your breath, which a lot of people tend to do. It's more of like you're bracing your core for a punch to the stomach. We're all used to doing that, but that's really what we're doing. And that way we activate those core muscles in our back, around our spine, and it protects our back. The other thing you want to make sure you're not doing is arching your back, which tends to happen as we get tired because the muscles we're using get tired, our core gets tired, and we want other muscles to help us, so we kind of throw our back into it. And that always leads to lower back pain. So anytime you're doing an exercise and you start to feel that your lower back is involved, you're probably either not engaging your core or you have worked to failure and it's time to move on. So chest press, you're going to start with your arms out, it's kind of like a goal post, but your palms facing down. And we're going to add a rotation to this just because it protects the shoulder. And if you have any type of shoulder injury or an impingement, the rotation takes a little stress out of that. So with your palms facing down, holding the weights, you're going to go out and you're going to meet the weights right in the middle like this. So this is 2, 3, and you're going to keep your arms right at your chest. If you start to come up, you're going to bring in your shoulders instead of your chest. So down, whoops, sorry, I forgot that, rotation. Rotate, rotate. I'm going to turn sideways, and I can only do one arm in this chair. So you can see here where the weight is right at my chest level, and I'm going to go out and rotate and bring it back. So we're going to do 12 of these, and then we're going to move into hammer curls. Hammer curls, we want the full extension. So you want your arms at your side. You're going to keep your elbows pinned in so your elbows aren't involved in the movement. And when I say they're not involved in the movement, they're not coming forward. They stay at your side and you're simply bending up. So without a weight, if you have your thumbs out to get used to the movement, your thumbs should touch your shoulders or touch the side. So with the weight, your core is again engaged. The weights you're just holding with the palms of your hands at your side, and you're going to bring the weight up and down. Now with the hammer curl, we're actually engaging our entire bicep. And we are also, if you have any type of elbow injury, or if you're prone to golfer or tennis elbow, hammer curls will alleviate that pressure and cause that not to flare up. That's why I generally have those in beginners instead of bicep curls. So we do 12 of those. And then our next one is a tricep extension. So in, go, 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 go. All right, so tricep extension, you're gonna put your arm up and you're gonna hold on to your tricep. And you're just gonna bend the weight back behind your head at an angle. So think about kind of bringing it down to your opposite shoulder blade, and you should feel your muscle working. And anytime you're doing an exercise and you feel like you maybe not engaging the correct muscle, tap that muscle, hold the muscle. It just sends a signal to your brain that that is what you want working. As a trainer, it's something we do all the time because we can see, we know what muscles you're supposed to be using, and we have clients that aren't actually doing the exercises properly. I ask, can we touch that there? And then instantly the brain's like, oh, that's what you want me doing. So we're going to do those 12 times each, 3 times. And then we're going to move on to our next section. I'm gonna drop my weights because the next section we're doing a lot of longer levers. So we're gonna start with a front raise. So with this, hands at the side, palms are facing towards each other, and we're just gonna raise our arms straight up, and as we raise up, we're going to rotate a little bit so our palms are parallel to the ground. So, 1, and we do not wanna come above our shoulders. If you can come above your shoulders, you could probably use heavier weights, but what you really wanna think about is make sure that you're not coming above your shoulders because you're shrugging, or because you're engaging your shoulders to really help you get it up there. These are all controlled movements, so you want to really focus on bringing that up and using your shoulder muscles for this, your appropriate shoulder muscles, I should say. And you should feel this all right around in here. So we do 12 front raises, and then we have arm openers. So we sit, your core is again engaged, your arms are in front of your chest, no higher than your shoulder, palms are parallel to the ground, and we're just gonna open up. You do want a slight bend in the elbow. We always want a slight bend in all of our joints. We don't want to lock any of our joints out because that is how we lead to injury. Because these are longer lever moves, you may only be able to do 12 of them with a weight, and then drop the weights. This is fine. You are still, there's still weight to your arms, there's still gravity. Oh, and then we have trap rotation. See, that's why I said go light, because our arms are up a lot in this. So we're gonna start again in the kind of goalpost, but instead of up, we wanna be down. So our palms, our forearms are all parallel to the ground. We have our weights in our hand or no weights at all, it's fine. We're gonna rotate up and rotate down. And when we rotate up, we are not going back. We are simply coming straight up and down. So we're gonna do 12 of these. Again, make sure that your core is in. Make sure your back isn't arched and your chest is not throwing forward. You really want to keep everything tight and firm, because these small movements, even though the weight is light, because your arms are here and gravity is pushing on them for so long, as you tire, you're gonna bring you back into it. So when that starts to happen, drop the weights. So 3 of each of those, 12 times through. Now we're going to move to core. No, I lied. We're gonna move to leg, sorry. So our first one is, we have here, knee extensions. So you're gonna start here, brace that core, and you're gonna slightly lean back in your chair. And again, when I say slightly, we're just slightly leaning back here. And you should feel the kind of the core activate here. And we're going to extend the leg out and back down, out and back down. So we're not raising our leg, we're just literally extending at the knee, and you should feel this in your quadricep. And because I've added the slight lean back to it, you should also feel it in your core. So we want to do 12 of these each leg. And then we're gonna do heel sliders. So this one is with your feet planted on the ground, sitting up straight. You're gonna slide your foot out and back in. Out and back in. So what I want you to do is make sure when you're doing this, your foot stays flat on the ground. This is really going to work on your ankle strength and mobility, something that we don't think about, but without strength in those ankles, there are so many things that we can't do. Squatting. And when I say squatting, think about how many times you sit. Sit in your chair, sit on the sofa, sit on the toilet. Squatting is something we do in life all the time, and we just don't think about it. And when our ankle mobility is limited, it makes squatting very difficult. It makes sitting painful and difficult. It's hard to get up when you can't get that range of motion in your ankles. And this is such an easy exercise to work on that ankle strength, that dorsiflexion, that mobility. And you also are getting, you can feel it in your hips, in your quads, and in your calf. As you extend, you can see when I extend here, my calf tightens. And as I come back, my calf relaxes. So I'm actually getting a little leg workout here. The next one is hip openers. Sitting all the time causes a lot of tension in our hips. So this is a great exercise to do, especially if you're working in an office and you're just sitting all day. Take a couple of minutes and just do some hip openers. So you're just gonna raise your knee, go out as far as you can to the right, bring your leg down, bring it back up and bring it in. Go, go, thank you, come on, go. And then other leg, so you're gonna go up and then get some dog love to the side, down, up, back in, and down. So, yeah, you wanna get her? Go, go. Thanks. Move.
I didn't know where it was.
Oh, thank you. All right, so hip openers, up, down. So this is one. So going hip opener, hip closer, one whole rep. 12 of those each leg. So then once you're done that, you're gonna go back to your knee extensions, your heel sliders, and your hip openers. And then the last thing we have is core. So we have rocking chair. This is just what it sounds like. You're just gonna pretend like you're in a rocking chair. For core exercises, I like to either have my hands on my core or my obliques if I'm working the obliques. Just helps me to know, oh, look, I am feeling it. It is there. If there's ever an exercise where I'm doing crunches or whatever and they're like, I always just put my fingertips right above my ears. This way I know without a fact that I am not using my arms at all. I'm not using momentum. I can't accidentally strain my neck if I'm getting tired. To me, it just makes sense. So we're gonna start with the rocking chair. I'm gonna turn this chair sideways so you can see. We want to sit on the edge of the chair, brace that core, bring everything down, and I'm gonna put my hands on my core, and we're just gonna lean back, keeping yourself straight, and then come forward. If you want, you can use the chair as a guide as to when you can stop. But again, that's going to depend on how far forward you are, how far back you can go, your core strength. Like this is pretty far. Like a V hold right there in a chair instead of on the floor. And that's all we're going to do. You should feel your stomach engaged the entire time. And we'll do 12 of those. And then we have our knee lift extensions. So think of this as basically like pedaling a bicycle. You're gonna sit in the chair with your core engaged, and you're going to bring your knee up, your leg out, and then down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you should be feeling this all right in here. 6, when you get to 6, I want you to stop and go backwards. So, over this way. And let's see, so if we're going forwards, we're going this way, kind of like we're pedaling a recumbent bike. And if we go backwards, we're doing it this way. So, you're going to go 6 forward, 6 backwards on each leg. That's a total of 12 for each leg. And then we're gonna do torso rotations. Now, this you can do with a weight if you want. You can do it without a weight. You can, yeah, those are really your only 2 options because you can't not do it. So you're gonna sit up, core is embraced. I'm gonna hold a weight because I can. I don't have my arms extended. My arms are just kind of at my side. I'm relaxed. And I'm just gonna turn to the side, come back center. Now, breathing with this. feel like it's important. Inhale, in center. Exhale to the side. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale to the side. So my hips are staying still. I'm going to exhale as I rotate to the side. Inhale as I come back center. If you do not have a weight, I want you to put your hands, cross your hands over and put them right on the side of your stomach. So as you're turning, you can feel your core. All right, you can feel these muscles here working. If you're feeling it more in your back, I want you to tighten that core and shorten your rotation, right? This does not have to be a huge movement. With just a slight turn, engages these muscles here. And that's what we're shooting for. We're not looking to injure the back. So 12 both ways. So a total of 24. And then you're gonna go back to the rocking chair, back to the knee lifts, back to the torso rotations. If you do this all the way through, you should be getting your heart rate up, which gives you a cardio aspect to it too, but you can, of course, break this up into different sections to work on at different times if you can't, if you don't have time to fit it all in one day. That is completely up to you, but if you do it all together, it's going to be a complete workout. You're going to get your heart rate up, you're going to work every muscle, I mean not every muscle in your body, but all the muscle groups that you should be focused on at a time. So you have your total body workout with some little cardio added in there, which you probably need with your foot injury. If you have any questions, shoot me a message, let me know, I'm happy to answer.